Most people believe their financial problems exist because they don't earn enough money. They blame their salary, their boss, their job, or the economy. They think that if they could just earn a little more, everything would finally fall into place. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For most people, their salary is not the real problem. Every month, millions of people receive their paycheck. For a brief moment, they feel relief. Bills feel manageable. Stress feels lighter. They tell themselves this month will be different. But within days, sometimes even hours, the money is already gone, and the same stress returns, stronger than before. If income were the real issue, then people with higher salaries would be financially relaxed. But that's not what we see. Many high earners are just as stressed, just as trapped, and just as dependent on their next paycheck as everyone else. The amount of money changed, but the problem stayed the same. The real issue starts the moment money enters your account. The way people think, decide, and react during that moment determines their entire financial future. Unfortunately, most people have never been taught what to do at that point. They operate on habits, emotions, and pressure, not systems. In this video, we're going to break down the real reasons salaries disappear, why motivation doesn't fix money problems, and how a simple shift in thinking can change everything. This is not about earning more. It's about understanding what actually happens after you get paid. Once you see this clearly, you'll stop blaming your income and start fixing the real issue, the one that actually controls your financial life.
The first few minutes after payday are the most important minutes in your entire financial life. Most people don't realize this because nothing dramatic seems to happen. There is no warning, no alarm, and no obvious mistake. But this is exactly where the cycle begins. As soon as money arrives, people mentally start spending it. Even before any bill is paid, the money already has a destination. Rent, subscriptions, loans, lifestyle expenses, and small rewards are all planned in the mind. Whatever remains at the end is labeled as savings, but in reality, that number is almost always zero. This is why the popular advice of save whatever is left fails for most people. There is rarely anything left. Life expands to absorb income automatically. Without a system, money flows out in the same direction every single month, no matter how much you earn. Payday decisions are emotional, not logical. People feel relief, freedom, and confidence all at once. That emotional high leads to spending that feels justified in the moment. Small decisions made during this window create patterns that repeat for years. The truth is simple. Money needs instructions. If you don't tell it where to go, it will disappear on its own. Motivation doesn't help here. Discipline fades. Only systems survive. In the next part, we'll talk about the one simple rule that flips this entire situation and puts you back in control the moment your salary hits your account.
The rule that changes everything is simple, but most people ignore it because it feels uncomfortable at first. Instead of spending first and saving whatever is left, you reverse the order. You pay yourself first. This single shift turns money from something stressful into something manageable. Paying yourself first means that the moment your salary arrives, a portion of it is removed before you touch anything else. Not for bills, not for lifestyle, for your future. This money is not optional. It is treated like a non-negotiable expense, just like rent or electricity. Most people think this will make life harder. They believe they won't have enough left to survive. But the opposite usually happens. When spending money becomes limited, behavior adjusts automatically. People become more intentional. Waste reduces. Stress slowly decreases. This works because the brain adapts to constraints. When you give yourself unlimited access to money, spending expands. When you set boundaries, spending becomes thoughtful. The same income suddenly feels more controlled without earning a single dollar more. Paying yourself first is not about saving huge amounts. Even a small percentage done consistently creates momentum. Over time, this money becomes a buffer, then an opportunity, and eventually a foundation for growth. In the next part, we'll talk about why motivation fades but systems don't, and how to build a system that works even on bad days. Most people rely on motivation to fix their money problems. They promise themselves that next month they will spend less, save more, and be more disciplined. For a few days, it works. Then life happens, stress returns, routines break, and old habits quietly take over again. Motivation is emotional, and emotions are unstable. They change with mood, energy, and circumstances. This is why motivation fails when you need it most. Financial progress cannot depend on how you feel on a particular day. Systems work because they remove emotion from the equation. A system decides for you in advance. It automates good behavior and blocks bad behavior before you even have a chance to make a mistake. When a system is in place, progress happens quietly in the background. A simple financial system doesn't need complexity. It needs clarity. Income comes in, a fixed portion is automatically saved or invested, bills are handled, and spending is limited to what remains. There is no negotiation every month, no willpower battle. People who build systems stop stressing about money not because they earn more, but because decisions are already made. They don't wake up every payday feeling anxious. They feel neutral, calm, and in control. In the next part, we'll look at how lifestyle pressure quietly breaks systems and how to protect yourself from it. Even the best financial system can fail if lifestyle pressure is not controlled. Lifestyle pressure comes from everywhere: friends, family, social media, and society's expectations. It quietly pushes people to spend more, upgrade faster, and keep up appearances, even when it doesn't make sense financially. Most people don't consciously choose this pressure. It slowly seeps in. A better phone seems reasonable. A nicer car feels deserved. A more expensive lifestyle feels like progress. But each upgrade adds weight. More expenses, more commitments, and less flexibility. The system that once felt manageable starts to feel tight again. Lifestyle pressure is dangerous because it disguises itself as success. From the outside, life looks better. From the inside, stress increases. This is how people with growing incomes still feel stuck. Their system didn't fail, their lifestyle outgrew it. Protecting your system requires intentional limits. This doesn't mean living poorly or denying enjoyment. It means choosing long-term control over short-term validation. It means understanding that freedom is invisible, while consumption is loud. People who win with money learn to say no early, so they don't have to say no forever. They keep their system slightly uncomfortable on purpose because that discomfort creates space for growth. In the next part, we'll talk about where the money you save should actually go and why leaving it idle creates another hidden problem. Once people start saving money consistently, a new problem appears. They don't know what to do with it. Out of fear, many people leave their savings sitting idle. They feel safe seeing a number in their account, but they don't realize that money standing still is slowly losing value. Inflation quietly reduces the power of idle money. Prices rise, but savings stay the same. Over time, the money that once felt secure can buy less and less. This creates frustration and confusion, especially for people who believe they are doing everything right. The purpose of saving is not just protection, it is preparation. Savings should create stability first, but eventually they must be put to work. This is where many people get stuck, not because opportunities don't exist, but because fear replaces understanding. Investing doesn't mean gambling or chasing trends. It means placing money into assets that grow over time, based on logic and patience. When people don't understand this difference, they either avoid investing completely or take reckless risks. The goal is balance. Part of your money protects you from emergencies. Another part works quietly for your future. This balance turns money into a tool instead of a source of anxiety. In the next part, we'll talk about patience and why trying to rush results often destroys progress instead of speeding it up. One of the biggest reasons people fail with money is impatience. Once they start doing the right things, they expect fast results. When progress feels slow, doubt appears. They begin questioning the system, comparing themselves to others, and looking for shortcuts. Money doesn't grow in straight lines. It grows quietly at first, almost invisibly. This is where most people quit. They mistake slow progress for no progress. They don't realize that consistency is building momentum beneath the surface. Impatience pushes people toward risky decisions. They chase trends, jump between strategies, or abandon plans that were actually working. Instead of letting time do its job, they interfere with the process and reset their progress again and again. Those who build real financial stability learn to respect time. They understand that patience is not passive, it is active discipline. It means continuing to do the right things even when there is no immediate reward. Progress feels boring before it feels powerful. Wealth grows quietly before it becomes visible. People who accept this stay calm. People who don't stay stuck. In the next part, we'll look at how daily habits shape financial outcomes and why small behaviors matter more than big decisions. Most people think money problems come from big mistakes, but in reality, they come from small daily habits. Tiny decisions made every day quietly shape financial outcomes over years. These habits don't feel dangerous because they seem insignificant in the moment. Daily spending habits, how often you check your finances, how you react to stress, and how you reward yourself all matter more than one-time decisions. A coffee here, a subscription there, an impulse purchase after a long day. None of these feel serious alone, but together they create patterns that drain money consistently. Financially stable people don't rely on willpower. They rely on routines. They check their accounts regularly, track where money goes, and review their system often. This awareness prevents small leaks from turning into big problems. Good habits also reduce anxiety. When money is monitored and structured, surprises become rare. People stop fearing their bank balance because they already know what to expect. Control replaces uncertainty. Bad habits repeat automatically. Good habits must be built intentionally. Once they are in place, they require less effort over time. This is how money stops feeling heavy and starts feeling manageable. In the next part, we'll talk about responsibility, not blame, but ownership, and why taking control is the turning point for financial change. At some point, real financial change requires one difficult step: taking full responsibility. Not blame, not guilt, responsibility. This is where most people struggle, because it's easier to point at salary, inflation, employers, or the system. And while those things matter, they don't give you control. Responsibility means accepting that your financial situation is the result of repeated decisions over time. This doesn't mean you made bad choices intentionally. It means you were operating with limited information, habits, and systems. The moment you accept this, power returns to you. People who avoid responsibility stay stuck, waiting for something external to change. People who accept responsibility start changing what they can control. They stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I do differently next month?" Ownership shifts the focus from frustration to action. It removes the feeling of helplessness. Even small changes feel meaningful when you know they're within your control. This mindset turns money from a problem into a project. Financial freedom doesn't begin with more income. It begins with clarity and ownership. Once you take responsibility, every lesson becomes useful instead of painful. Every mistake becomes data instead of regret. In the final part, we'll bring everything together and outline the simple path forward, one that works regardless of income level.
Breaking free from financial stress doesn't require a higher salary, a perfect plan, or a sudden breakthrough. It requires understanding, structure, and consistency. Most people stay stuck because they keep treating money emotionally instead of strategically. When you stop blaming income and start fixing systems, everything shifts. Payday becomes calm instead of stressful. Decisions become intentional instead of reactive. Progress becomes steady instead of chaotic. This is how control is built, quietly, month by month. The path forward is simple, even if it's not easy. Pay yourself first. Protect your system from lifestyle pressure. Let savings become preparation, not stagnation. Respect time and patience. Build habits that support your future instead of sabotaging it. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to start with one system and stay consistent. Most people never do this, which is why the gap between those who struggle and those who feel financially stable keeps growing. If this video helped you see money differently, even in a small way, then it has done its job. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And if you want more long-form videos that explain money in a clear, practical way, make sure you're subscribed. Every video on this channel is designed to help you build control, clarity, and long-term financial confidence. Because when you understand how money actually works, you stop reacting to it and start directing it.